Game of Thrones Season 7, Episode 6, Beyond the Wall. Wow, how awesome was it to see Jon and his epic group of pals go out on this totally epic and not at all silly mission. I am still so full of hype about this masterpiece of an episode that I can't do it. I can't do it, guys. Damn it. I thought I'd lost all my dignity, but evidently I still have some standards, so yeah, we're gonna change it up. We'll do a video with some substance.
That's not gonna get any views, you know that, right?
I know. It won't get any views. I get that. I know. Yeah, we're not gonna do the format that gets tens of thousands of views. You know, the one that focuses on fake excitement and mostly only uses words like epic and hype. Instead, I'll be discussing the connection between the battle beyond the wall and the real-life historical Battle of Marathon.
Alright, so we're working for free again?
I will be looking forward to the tens of views instead of tens of thousands. Fuck it. Just roll the intro.
Alright.
I'll begin by saying, although I did like what this episode accomplished, the themes and different aspects and rules that they established are interesting and definitely changed the game. That being said, I did not like the way they established them. I felt there were better ways to show us these aspects. An example is what I refer to as the mothership rule, meaning we now know that if you kill a White Walker, you kill all of the whites risen by that said walker. We also learned that dragons are definitely not the all-powerful force that can just annihilate the army of the dead, but they do change the game. And we got our ice dragon to even out the odds. So I wanted to find a way to make this episode enjoyable for those like myself who were not thrilled with it, and also make it even more enjoyable for those of you that did love it. That's when this connection between the real-life Battle of Marathon and the scene Beyond the Wall was brought to my attention by my friend and colleague BRAN the Builder, who's an author on the website that I own and run, vocalizershow.com. I'll link it below and you should check it out after you subscribe to this channel, of course. Subscribe. Do it. So as I said, BRAN has brought to my attention there's a strong connection between the Battle of Marathon and this episode's events. This will be a basic overview of the topic with some of BRAN's main points and some of my own that I've made during my individual research. I also recommend that you go to BRAN's blog, which will be linked below, for the in-depth analysis. So let's make some historical connections, you motherfuckers. Do you know how close you were to having watermarks on you? I know we're not going to make any money. For those of you that are unfamiliar with the Battle of Marathon, I'll leave a few links in the description box below. As always, it'll be under source material, but I'm just going to give you a brief overview right now. It took place in 490 BC. This is a battle between the Greeks and the Persians. The Persians highly outnumbered the Greeks. The Greeks are at a great disadvantage, but they have to stand their ground, because if they let the Persian army just go through, including their homeland, Athens will be conquered. Just like in the engagement beyond the wall, there's a stalemate. Now, no ice or water is the cause of the stalemate. It was actually scorching in 490 BC on the Marathon Plains, but there is the stalemate, and there's also something else, which is one of the biggest connections. The Greek general Miltiades orders a Athenian messenger to be sent from the plains of Marathon to Athens, a distance about 25 miles. Greek messenger named Phidippides runs from the Marathon Plains all the way to Athens, just like Gendry is sent to run about 40 miles. We won't start getting into too many specifics because we don't want to ruin it. Just like Phidippides runs to Athens, Gendry runs to Eastwatch to send a raven for help. A little side note too is the Persian army not only did it outnumber the Greeks, but they were using a lot of missile weapons. When we see the White Walkers, we've noticed that, especially the Night King, likes to use missile weapons, his ice spear. Also, during the standoff, standstill, whatever you want to call it at Marathon, just like the Hound throwing rocks and agitating the Whites, even though the Greeks were outnumbered just like our group, they did similar things, taunting the Persians. So the Greeks hold off, there's a 4-day standoff. The Greek general Miltiades at this point throws a rulebook out. and they engage in some unconventional warfare. Now, this is where the comparison comes in with Dany, with the dragons. They changed the game. No, they didn't have a flying dragon spitting fire, but they used what was called the phalanx. We know this well now. We saw it actually in the Battle of the Bastards. But this was not a conventional method at the time, and this changed the game. This allowed 10,000 Athenian troops to hold off an army that was up to 5 times its size. So when you think about all the new rules to warfare that we really were exposed to during Beyond the Wall, and you relate it to the Battle of Marathon with the use of a phalanx in a way that hadn't been used before and the advanced tactics that they used. The events of the Battle of Marathon affect us even till today. For something that happened in 490 BC, that's pretty impressive. And I imagine the events of the battle or engagement, whatever you want to refer to it as, in the episode Beyond the Wall, will affect the people of Westeros for many years to come. In both the show and in history, this stand at Marathon, as well as the engagement Beyond the Wall, changes the game. And for all of Dan and Dave's faults, I can't help but to think that the Battle of Marathon is somewhat in the back of their mind, especially with the sending of the messenger. And this is the thing that does make Game of Thrones so great, is how they embody real-life history and how they bring it into the story. Now, this was a turning point in the series where we witnessed a battle that was full-blown fantasy. But I would like to believe, like in so many other battles and events like the Red Wedding, that were all based in some real-life history, that even when they went full-on fantasy mode, which is fine, we all know that it was coming, that they were able to inject a little bit of history and ground it. This, of course, came to me from Bran the Builder, not Dan and Dave, and in my opinion, Bran might be smarter, but all I know is that when I rewatched the episode with this in mind, it really made the episode a lot better for me. So make sure to go to the website and check out Bran's blog. Make sure to like this video and subscribe, and let us know what you guys think about this. We'll be back in a few days with some more videos for you. I'm Justin Thomas, and thank you guys as always.